Saha, the sage, Tam, Ha, Devahuti, Utamadasnana, bathed clean, Vibrajantim, shining forth, Apurvava, unprecedentedly, Atmanaha, Haro, Vibrati, possessing, Rupam, beauty, Samgita, girded, Ruchira, charming, stunning, with breast, Vidyadhari, of Gandharva girls, Sahasrena, by 1,000, Sevyamana, being waited upon, Suvasasam, dressed in excellent robes, Jata Bhavaha, struck with fondness, Vimanam, airplane-like image, that Arohaya, he put her on board, Amitrahan, or destroyer of the enemy. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation: the sage could see that Devahuti had washed herself clean and was shining forth as though no longer his former wife. She had dressed in excellent robes, her charming breast duly girded. She was waited upon by 1,000 Gandharva girls. O destroyer of the enemy, his fondness for her grew, and he placed her on the aerial mansion. Please repeat this. The sage could see that Devahuti had washed herself clean and was shining forth as though no longer his former wife. She had regained her own original beauty as the daughter of a prince, dressed in excellent robes, a charming breast duly girded, was waited upon by O destroyer of the enemy, his fondness for her grew, and he placed her on the aerial mansion. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Before her marriage, when Devahuti was brought by her parents before the sage Kardama, she was the perfectly beautiful princess, and Kardama Muni remembered her former beauty. But after marriage, when she was engaged in the service of Kardama Muni, she neglected to care for her body like a princess, since there was no means for such care. Her husband was living in a cottage, and since she was always engaged in serving him, her royal beauty disappeared and she became just like an ordinary maid servant. Now, after being Bathed by the Gandharva girls, by the order of Kardama Muni's yogic power, she regained her beauty, and Kardama Muni felt attracted to the beauty she had shown before the marriage. The real beauty of a young woman is in her breasts. When Kardama Muni saw the breasts of his wife so nicely decorated, increasing her beauty many times, he was attracted, even though he was a great sage. Sripad Shankaracharya has therefore warned the transcendentalists that one who is after transcendental realization should not be attracted by the raised breasts of a woman, because they are nothing but an interaction of fat and blood within the body. We'll read the 38th verse also. Tasmin alupta mahima priyanu rakta vidyadharibhi upachirna vapur vimane babraja utkacha kumad ganavan api chas tarabhiravruta ivodupati nabastaha. Though seemingly attached to his beloved consort while served by the Gandharva girls, the sage did not lose his glory, which was mastery over his self. In the aerial mansion, Kardama Muni, with his consort, shone as charmingly as the moon in the midst of the stars in the sky, which causes rows of lilies to open in ponds at night. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The mansion was in the sky, and therefore the comparison to the full moon and stars is very beautifully composed in this verse. Kardama Muni looked like the full moon, and the girls who surrounded his wife Devahuti seemed just like the stars. On a full moon night, the stars and the moon together form a beautiful constellation. Similarly, in that aerial mansion in the sky, Kardama Muni with his beloved wife and the damsels surrounding them appeared like the moon and stars on a full moon night. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunavadi Bhashyat Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Aita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in the previous verses we have seen Devahuti, who was looking very dirty and emaciated. She was served by 1,000 Gandharva girls. She was washed clean, and then they have fed her with good food along with some Ayurvedic drinks and all that. So now she has come back to Apurvavat. Vibrajantim Apurvavat. She has come back to her original glory, unprecedented beauty. And by looking at her, his own wife, Kardama, he Jata Bhavo Vimanamta. He was struck with the beauty of the wife, and then so he grew little attached to her, and then Prabhupada explains in the purport how, although he is a great sage, he still got attracted to the beautiful, his beautiful wife, because of here it is mentioned Samvita Ruchirastanim, because of her breasts. So Prabhupada is explaining that the beauty of a young woman is in her breasts. But in the next sloka it is immediately clarified that although Kardama Muni appeared to be attracted to her, he did not lose his glory, and that is mastery over his self. He still did not lose the control on himself. That means he is engaged in all these affairs with the intention to follow the orders given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He did not deviate from the orders. So these descriptions are meant as a caution for the brahmacharis and even for grihasthas who want to progress in Krishna consciousness. Progress in Krishna consciousness means systematic development of our attachment to Krishna and Krishna's service. And instead of developing our attachment to Krishna, if a brahmachari lets his mind diverted by the beauty and attractions of this world, then his attachment becomes diluted. As soon as someone diverts his attachment to the material objects, then obviously his attachment for Krishna gets diluted. One has to ensure that his mind is not diverted to the beauty of this world, and rather consistently focus on developing attachment to Krishna. Now this is a battle. This is not an ordinary journey. We are trying to develop attachment to Krishna, which we have forgotten for millions of years. Krishna's original attraction is so overwhelming that he is known as all attractive. Anybody who gets a little glimpse of this attractiveness of Krishna, very fortunate. Why? Then nothing else will look attractive to him. Everything else will become very pale. But then we have forgotten that attraction. If Krishna's original rupa, or Krishna's original name, if a devotee has experienced pure name or his form, then actually there is no struggle for him to practice sense control or self-control. Whole yogic process is meant for controlling the senses, because senses are restless, always seeking sense enjoyment. And the whole yoga process is like that. But if somebody gets blessings of Lord Chaitanya, blessings of Guru, and he gets a glimpse of little attraction to Krishna, this yogic exercise, all these things looks like some jugglery. He feels it's all useless. There is no struggle in him to control his senses. He is automatically drawn to Krishna wherever he may see, or whatever object he may see. Jai Radha Govinda. But then, since we have forgotten Krishna's attraction, and not only forgotten, we have developed intense attachment to enjoying this world. All conditioned souls, they are very much attached to the opposite sex. So that's why for a transcendentalist, the concept of Brahmacarya is been given. Any human being has to have training in Brahmacharya. Whether later on he marries or he doesn't marry, that's a different issue. But every human being should begin his life with Brahmacharya. One has to follow Brahmacharya. Brahmancharati iti brahmachari. Brahmachari means he is absorbed in Brahman. That is Brahmacharya. He is always thinking of Krishna and Krishna's service, and particularly he is contemplating on Swadhyaya, learning the science of Krishna from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. This is Brahmacharya. So people, any person has to be trained from the beginning in the principles of Brahmacharya. During Vedic culture, the Brahmacharya training starts at the age of 5 and goes on up to 25. A very crucial life of his journey. And during this period, a boy is trained up in strict Brahmachari principles. Why? Because the Shastras, they know that if a person is not conserving his semen intelligently, and if one is wasting it unnecessarily, then he cannot achieve anything in his life. Slowly one will become a vegetable. No determination, no confidence, and he cannot achieve anything in his life. So, weakening himself by not able to manage this semen, this is become very prevalent in this age. So that's why Brahmacharya principles guide a person that what is the value of all this, how one has to be serious about controlling himself and controlling this most valuable substance, semen. Udvaretaha, the Shastra says, semen has to be taken upwards. It has to reach our brain, and in the brain the semen has to be consumed. But people do not know the science of Brahmacharya, and they consume the semen by sending it down. So, how do we consume the semen, that energy? This energy is called the creative energy. Semen is a creative energy, and semen is spread all over the body. When we eat food, it produces a lot of products and byproducts. Of course, every day morning we have to evacuate, and then that's the one of the gross byproducts which we all have to send it out to clean up ourselves. But there are many other things the food produces. There is blood, and then there is marrow, and then there is this semen. It is generated. Every time you eat food, semen is continuously gets generated. But it has to be utilized. It has to be utilized carefully by engaging this creative force in creating something for Krishna. For a Krishna conscious devotee, Brahmacharya becomes a byproduct, provided he focuses on every day creating something for Krishna, doing something for Krishna. If one is an engineer, one is a lawyer, one is a scientist, in any field, one has to utilize this energy in order to produce something in this world. But if one can utilize all this, the skills and talents that he has, and then uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam, if he can use his energy for glorifying Krishna, that is the best way of remaining steadily in Krishna consciousness. So, without becoming enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, we will not be able to handle all these forces. There is no a simple formula to handle these forces. The only simple formula that is given by Acharya is to remain absorbed in Krishna consciousness. It is very important. Otherwise, naturally the mind becomes attracted to the beauty of this world. Now, what is this Krishna consciousness? Exactly the way Prabhupada has given. Krishna consciousness has to be cultivated on the order of spiritual master. Every aspect of our life should be guided by Guru's order. That is Krishna consciousness. From morning till night till you sleep, we do so many things. In all these areas, if we can implement Guru's instruction, then we are protected and we are safe. Otherwise, mind gets attracted to Maya, illusory things in this world. So, when we see an object, the object is not illusory. Object is not Maya. That is going on in front of you. That is not Maya. That is real. But what is Maya? After seeing that, that goes inside. There, the mind will think something about that object. Now, that is Maya. As soon as one sees a beautiful girl or a woman, she is doing her own thing, and then you see, and that goes inside. There inside, it creates. You already created certain predefined scripts. How to enjoy this object karke, there is something we have already built up. So this image goes and hits here inside, and then immediately it will show you a nice, wonderful movie, how you can be the hero and she can be the heroine. And the mind immediately will say, release, just released. What is that? The movie, you are the hero, and whatever just now you saw is the hero. This is how the mind creates. It creates a very forceful pictures and videos of already whatever we already, it's all there. It's all karmic this thing. Some people will get attracted to some object like this, and then he will be struggling how to manage. Somebody else will see, he doesn't care, he doesn't bother anything. For him it is not striking. But something else, it looks very silly to us, but somebody is becoming very attracted to that. And then, so why these differences? Because karmic forces, we have built up certain attractions over many, many years, many, many millions of lives probably. There's a very unusual, strange attractions one may feel. In his, from the childhood probably he never would have experienced such things, but still he may face some strange attractions in the mind as soon as he sees some object. So you should know a very complex mechanism is already built in. And if whatever is already built in is very forceful, as soon as one sees a sense object, immediately there is a forceful, a lot of force. Immediately one becomes lusty. And then that force will impel him to commit some sinful activities. Atakhena prayuktoyam papam chariti purushaha. This is the question Arjuna asks in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, prayuktoyam What is this force? Anichanapi Varshneya, although I don't want to, Baladiva, as if I was held by my neck and it is forcing me. Bala Niyojitaha, it is engaging me in this activity. What is this? Now we all have an experience of this force. As soon as we see somebody, immediately there is a force inbuilt. Of course, nowadays that somebody can be a man or a woman or we don't know. It can be any. But the basic principle is an attachment, particularly in a sexual manner. So, that force, what is this force? And Krishna is explaining it is Kama Yesha, Krodha Yesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava. It is just Rajoguna. What is this Rajoguna? Rajoguna means if you see that object for your sense enjoyment with the mood of enjoying, that becomes Rajoguna. Same object, if you see differently, like Shankaracharya has explained here, he is a transcendentalist. He is saying a breast of a woman is nothing but interaction of fat and blood within the body. Let us see if somebody is able to see like that. That is Sattvaguna. You are seeing truth. You are seeing truth. Rajoguna means you don't see this blood, fat, all those things. You see it is an object of enjoyment. This is Rajoguna. Tamoguna is a different category. Samudbhava, this is the key point. If we are struggling in ignorance and passion, how can you handle? Because the way you see only is meant for my enjoyment. Immediately we want, what is the enjoyment that I can get? This is how everybody sees. As soon as somebody has that kind of a mood, there is no question of managing the mind and this and that. How should I see then? That's what Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so many scriptures are explaining how should we see. In Krishna consciousness, our contemplation is, no, this is blood, mucus, this and that. No, that's not the contemplation of a Krishna conscious devotee. A devotee, he sees only for the sake of service. Service purpose only we will handle. All the interaction should be with the service motive. There should be a strong motive of service to Krishna. Service to Krishna. And then with that motive he will be handling any of these things nicely. For example, somebody is standing in the book counter. His goal is to sell a book. Whether man or woman or child or this or that, whatever, his focus is, okay, now how I can give this book to her, a book to him. This will be his goal. As long as he is absorbed in that service, then he is saved. As soon as he is not very strong in that service attitude, then mind goes to enjoyment, body. Moment mind is seeking enjoyment, it starts seeing the body. And then the bodily features. The Prabhupada is explaining here, the real beauty of a young woman is in her breasts. It becomes very difficult for a young man by trying to see a woman like that and then still control. This becomes very difficult. That philosophy that this is just some blood, fat, mucus, all those things will not work. As soon as one is in that mood of enjoyment, obviously he will fall victim. So the fundamentals have to be carefully understood. As I was mentioning one class, one should be fascinated by these fundamentals that I am not this body. I am not this body, I am not this mind. And these fundamentals will be reinforced by Prabhupada. And on the basis of Prabhupada's order, one has to execute his Brahmacharya. By his mercy, we can get some strength. What is spiritual strength? The spiritual strength means faith on Guru's instruction. This is his strength. More faith means more strength. So only by Guru's order, by his mercy, a disciple receives the strength to withstand these attractions. And most importantly, the primary way of practicing Brahmacharya is to practice chanting of holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. If somehow we are able to take little pleasure from this chanting Hare Krishna, then that pleasure will take away the hope of a brahmachari on enjoying some material pleasure. We all, every jiva is hopeful of enjoying in this world. Continuously it is hopeful. If one attempt fails, he will go into hope against hope. That means hope is not there, hopeless, but still he will come up with some hope on the hopeless situation also. Even in the most hopeless situation, he will become hopeful. This is how Maya works. So, how do we ensure that we can practice Brahmacharya carefully? Of course, some few techniques we can understand, but it is a primarily Krishna conscious techniques and tools have to be used. Unless one nicely does this sadhana, chanting, every other technique will fail. And he will not be able to control himself. The first aspect is brahmachari should control his curiosity. Maya comes in the form of curiosity. One has to control the curiosity. Otherwise, the mind will be curious, particularly on the opposite sex. What is this? What is this beauty? What is this pleasure? Am I missing something? What is it? This is the kind of calculations and curiosity that the mind creates. So, if you want to be a good brahmachari, curiosity cannot be killed. We always be curious. What is this? What is that? What is? Everybody is curious. And the conditioned living entity means it is always curious about which object can give happiness to him, or which can satisfy him. So that's why everybody is searching. Curiosity means searching, always searching. I need this, I need this, I need this. If something is very interesting looking, immediately he will become very hopeful. I think looks like now this is going to be my savior. Already he has failed in 100 ways, but as soon as he sees something really differently packaged, differently presented, immediately he will become very hopeful again. No, looks like this is better. Like that. This is so continuous. So curiosity, there is a wonderful way we can engage that curiosity. Curiosity cannot be made zero. Never try that. And what is that? This curiosity in Sanskrit is called jijnasa. So if somebody can be Brahma jijnasa, if he can develop Brahma jijnasa, then using the very curiosity, he can advance himself so nicely. How many times today I have felt that Krishna is helping me? Curious. How can I recognize Lord is there in the heart and is giving me the intelligence required at the right time? Curious. How can I do this service? Curious. How can I improve my service? Curious. See, there's so much of curiosity you can build up in Krishna consciousness. If somebody diverts his curiosity towards Krishna consciousness, he can come out of this curiosity of understanding opposite sex, because it is something new. We know our body, so there is a curiosity to know the other body or the opposite sex body. This is how the mind works. So gradually, by spending our time engaging our curiosity in these transcendental topics and diverting our creative forces in writing, singing, doing services, the way Prabhupada has given. He has given engagements for the whole day. Nicely, if somebody is absorbed, then he has no struggle. So by doing such things, engaging your curiosity to know Krishna and how his energies are working, and then secondly, engaging in your creative forces in the service of the Supreme Lord, in the Guru's mission, gradually a devotee understands the reality. He slowly comes to Satguna. He comes to the reality, and then those passionate thoughts do not push him. He sees what is what. Basically, he will have no hope that in this world any object can satisfy me. He will have no hope. He will lose hope on this, the kind of objects. After all, every object is a shadow object. There is no reality there. What you are thinking beautiful today, after 10 years you see the same object. Where is the beauty? Devahuti, before bath, before eating all those things, where is the beauty? Now because she is now been nicely dressed and this and that and all that, some beauty has come up. Otherwise, where is the beauty? So, this passion and ignorance cannot be countered by some intellectual calculations and speculations. Tadha rajastamo bhava kamalobhadayaschaye chetayeter anaviddham. They are all piercing. This passion and ignorance, they are piercing our heart. Anything you see, inside there is a pierce. Now how do you get rid of this? Very simple. Every day listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. Shunvatam swakatha Krishna punyashravana kirtana hrudyantastohe abhadrani. Direct formula is given. Abhadrani, all the restlessness in the heart, all the inauspicious things which are there in the heart, they will be removed. Sudhanoti, suhru satam, because Lord is present, he is seeing that the devotee is trying to serve me, so out of his causeless mercy, he can turn off, those piercing, images or videos or whatever, and there is no other way. We have built up so much of value for them, always they will be prominent in the queue, try to attract our attention. But if you pray to Krishna, and then if you can develop little attachment to his service, then these fears will go away. Okay, so nicely read Bhagavatam whenever there is an opportunity. Read Bhagavatam and then chant and hear and absorb in your service. Use all your creative ways. If a young man falls in love with a woman, what and all he will think to acquire that woman's hand. He can go to any extent. So similarly, we want to offer something to Krishna, so why not? We become very creative, in offering many things to Krishna. This should be the devotee's mood. All creative ways of approaching people and giving Krishna consciousness to them, making them chant and this and that. This is our life. Okay, so then if you are absorbed like that, then there is other principles are easy. Till we come to Sattva-guna, there will be this piercing. Always there will be piercing in the heart. So, and the only way to come to Sattva-guna is hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day, chant your rounds and absorb in service, which all the missionaries, they do every single day. So if they take up this process nicely, gradually you will see the abhadrani in the heart, they are slowly washed away. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita as it is reveals that the body doesn't grow but changes every moment. This is very difficult to understand, Prabhu. While Prabhupada tried to explain this, tried to convince the disciples, Prabhupada says that some new things also come in the body. Mustaches and all develop. Even when we are in child, there is no sex desire.
Yeah.
Sex desire comes up when we are in adult.
Yeah.
So the desires, new desires coming. So the body is changing. See, if the attachment to the opposite sex is been there for many years, many lives, why it was not there when we were in childhood?
Actually, say a young woman, how a young man sees, how a small child sees, how that a young girl's father sees her, or an old father sees her, these are all different. It's all based on the relationship. Young child sees that young woman as mother. And so, motherly relation. So that's why even a brahmachari is advised to practice this. That from the beginning he should address others, the woman as mother, Mataji. Why it is said that? Because it is setting the right relationship. Now here is one more technique to be studied in brahmachari life. Relationship. One should focus on a right ego while dealing with the woman. Right ego. If one thinks I am a man, I am an enjoyer, obviously he will think in that direction. But look at the child, it's an example where he is looking at her as a mother. You don't find any lusty thoughts in a child's body. And that body is not suitable. The subtle body or that body, whatever it is not suitable for such thoughts. So time also unfolds these desires and whatever vasanas are there based on the current situation, what kind of a opportunity. It is a mechanism that is going on. So the point that we can understand is that it is good to call, it is actually compulsory that one should call other woman as mother. If he is a married person, except for his wife, he should see everybody else as mother. Matruvat paradhareshu. This is Chanakya Pandit's instruction. One should see all women as mother. And if he is married, okay, except for his wife, everybody else should be seen as mother. This is the thing. It's not that married person is free from lusty desires. Everybody will be haunted till the last moment. These desires will chase. But if somebody is somehow develops little attachment to Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, chanting, then he will be spared. Otherwise, this attachment will haunt you. Once Birbal tells this to Akbar, Akbar doesn't believe. Then Birbal says, okay, I will call you at an appropriate time. Then once Birbal goes to a place where one old man about to die is lying there. And then he tells Akbar, you come. Now you come to this place along with your young daughter. So Akbar comes with a young daughter and he enters into that place where the old man is about to die. And then Akbar observes that old man is still seeing the young daughter. And so then Birbal says, this is what I am telling you. Till the last moment, this attachment will not go away. Old man is still looking at the breasts of the young woman. See this? So, this, these pictures and all these things, these are all a lot of masala gets added in our inside. It makes a colorful film. These are the ingredients. It's a nice studio inside. All speculations are added, creative elements are added, it will give you a very nice opening, and you are the hero. Continuously glorifies you, and artificially one becomes very proud. So anyway, it's a very interesting machine. Slowly we will understand this, and then but this knowledge will not help you beyond a certain point. The real strength is spiritual strength, which comes from Guru and his instructions. If somebody sincerely serves Guru, he gets the strength. Automatically gets the strength. Okay, understood? So even a young man like all of us, even we can be seeing a woman as a mother, and if you address her as Mataji, and respectfully keep the distance and dealings, we can also feel a similar detachment, like a child feels. It's all about relationship. What kind of a relationship you are building? Generally, what happens? All of us are in the first instance or second instance. We'll all be focusing on our business only. But if you are cultivating for a long time, or if you are becoming intimate with some relationship, too closely, then it becomes very difficult. Mind is like that, it gets attached quickly. Sangas sanjayate kama, then attachment leads to kama. And what leads to attachment? Contemplation. You are going on thinking about that object, that's all, that's enough. If you think like that for some 2-3 days, you get attached to anybody. This is the difficulty of this mind. But somehow, although you may think so many days, we will not get attached to Krishna. Now you can see what is the power of Maya. So many years, so many days you are thinking of Krishna, but still there is no attachment. So that's why don't underestimate this force. Maya is very, very powerful. So, as I said, utilize your curiosity and creative forces, everything in Krishna's service, and be happy. If you can ask one question today, answer is already there. In spiritual life, no? Answers are already there. But still curiosity is encouraged. It is encouraged. Initially, before coming to Krishna consciousness, how many questions we used to ask? But after coming to KC, all questions are gone. Why is that? Actually, you should ask more questions. Prabhu, Shastra is saying like this, but my mind is saying like this. What is this? Try to understand. What is the gap? How do I bridge that gap? How do I handle that gap between what is being told and what is actually happening to me? These are the various questions a devotee he is continuously absorbed in. If you have a lot of questions, actually you are very well situated. Or if you have a lot of services, you're very well situated. As soon as you get down in the morning, continuously, as soon as you woke up, immediately there is a anxiety of some service. Oh, very nice. You're very fortunate. If you're sitting and thinking, now what should I do? I have no service. Then Maya will come and knock the door. Hello, looks like you don't have anything. I am available. Maya, I am available, she will say. So that's why never be free. Outsiders, they want to be free from work. They want to escape work. But devotees, opposite, always want to be in service. If they are little free, they will say immediately, Prabhu, what can I do? Something can I handle on this? If you are able to chant, nice. Say chanting time also, 2-minute disturbances, just do physical services. You should know quickly what tool to use. There are so many tools and technologies. Immediately you should know, okay, mind is also not this thing. Let me do some physical service. Take some mopping cloth, nicely mop here and there. Already mopped, Prabhu, no problem. I am mopping for myself. Let me mop again. So this is the devotee. Chak, he should shift which level to act. If mind is totally disturbed, not allowing to chant or remember Krishna, immediately go down to body level and do some service. Even then, if there are some disturbances, go to some association. Sit in front of senior devotee and ask him, Prabhu, this is what is happening. He will quote from Prabhupada, he will quote from his own experience, and then he will tell something strongly. Immediately we will become little pacified. So we should not be simply sit quietly like that and allow Maya to conquer us. One has to take some action. Jiva has an initiative capacity. You should take initiative. More service, more reading, more chanting. That's all. Then we will be protected. Any other? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.